Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
When is Kate getting here?
Should be any minute. She was on one of her Goodwill treasure hunts.
Treasure hunt? Oh, here she comes. And in an amazing new jacket.
Ready to rock, guys?
You definitely are.
Where'd you get that?
Don't you love it? I got it at Goodwill.
Kate got it at Goodwill. With hundreds of thousands of unique items arriving in-store daily, you can get it at Goodwill too. Find your convenient neighborhood location at goodwillaz.org. Nonprofit for good.
At Precision Air and Plumbing, we believe clean water is essential for your home and for your health. Right now, get 25% off our advanced water filtration systems, including reverse osmosis, water softeners, and UV light treatment. Protect your family, your pipes, and your peace of mind with water that's safer, softer, and better tasting. Don't wait. This offer won't last long. Make the precision decision today and call us at 602-765-PIPE.
Precision with Precision Air. You got the paint job, but now you need the materials fast. Get free same-day or next-day delivery on select PPG paints from the Home Depot. Now that's a pro move. Save time on store runs and get free delivery on small or large orders of select items. Save energy shopping around with PPG's wide assortment of colors and finishes all in one place. And save money with Pro Extra, where you can get up to 20% off paints, primers, and stains through Paint Rewards. The Home Depot, how pros get more done.
Hi, Luis Gonzalez here. Want to bet? Feel the thrill of Casino Arizona with 1,400 of the hottest slots and nonstop table game action. We make winners, no experience necessary. Join us for the best bingo in the valley with daily sessions. Indulge in all-you-can-eat Eagles Buffet or enjoy fine dining experience at the award-winning Choya Steakhouse. Enjoy top-notch local entertainment, tribute bands, and viewing parties at CAZ Sports Bar, just off the 101 in McKellips. Casino Arizona, uniquely Arizona.
Superstar Car Wash, the car wash with superpowers. Sign up for a free car wash today. That's right, totally free for a limited time. Because we love what makes you shine. See website for details.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
A mixed bag of sports over the weekend here in the Valley. Welcome in the Monday edition of the lunch break right here on KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert with you for the next 2 hours. This is one of those days where I wish we had that third hour that everybody clamors for. Producer Evan is behind the glass. He's ready to take your phone calls today, 480-864-1060. It was a bad week for the picks. It was a bad week for ASU football. It was a win for the Cardinals, but not all that inspiring. The Diamondbacks are making us at least pay attention to them a little bit more. We'll try to get to it all here today on the program, but it was the first week of the NFL season, and the Cardinals started their year off 1-0. That is where we will start today's program.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
You're not going to give it back, right? You're not going to call up Roger Goodell today and say, you know what? We didn't play our best football. We would like to be 0-1. You're going to take it. You're going to look at the standings, and you're going to see yourself in a tie for first place still after week one, and you're going to move on to next week's home opener against the Carolina Panthers. But we asked all last week, can we get the statement victory from the Arizona Cardinals? Can they start the year off making some noise? The answer was no. It was not a statement win yesterday. It was anything but. Left me asking some questions about this team. And unfortunately, they are some of the same questions we were asking about this team all throughout last season. But at the end of the day, they went into New Orleans with a quarterback who was under the weather They got a 20-13 win in New Orleans. They're 1-0 to start the year. And you look at some of the under-the-hood numbers, and you're not surprised that they won the football game, right? Didn't turn the ball over. That's an important thing for Kyler Murray in this offense. They were 6 for 13 on third down. They ran the football well, 146 yards on the ground with all of their rushers. Kyler Murray was consistent. They didn't really throw the ball deep down the field all that much, but Kyler Murray, 21 of 29, threw for 2 touchdowns, didn't throw the ball into a tight window and make a stupid play and turn the ball over. So you took care of the football. You ran the football well. Your defense held the Saints to 13 points. Yeah, you should win most of the games when those 3 things happen. Unfortunately, this game was close late in the fourth quarter. The Saints had the ball driving to tie the game. Now, mind you, I don't know if this thought crossed any of your minds while watching the game, but I did think to myself, you go for 2 here if you score the touchdown, right? Home game, first game of the season. You're not expected to do much this year. You're a first-time head coach. You show that aggressiveness off in week 1.
I think we were all thinking it, right? Especially just, I'm always a believer in you just have to see where the clock is, too, on the 2. Like, I would never go for 2 with over a minute left because then the team comes out, is more aggressive to get a field goal, whereas if you can get a sack or one big stop, we'll just go play for overtime. With seconds left on the clock, they're going for 2 there. 100 times out of 100.
The pass to Olave that turned the ball over on downs was with 4 seconds left.
And so I'm getting up there, and I know I've put together a long drive. It felt like, even I will tell you, the Saints went up, and they said this on the broadcast, the Saints went up and clocked it late in the game. I thought they were going to run a play because the Cardinals couldn't get anybody off the field, and they were gassed defensively.
It was a 13-play drive. It only took up 1 minute and 49 seconds. They ran 13 plays in that time frame. But the defense gets the stop. The Cardinals are winners. And again, we're not going to give the win back today. We're going to celebrate that the team is 1-0. We're going to celebrate the team scored more points on offense than any other team in their division did this week in week 1. We're going to talk about how defensively they looked good. They kept the Saints off the board. We'll talk about the pass rush in hour number 2 of the program. But this was not the statement that we all wanted. I'm still today wondering, what version of this offense are we going to get? Took way too long to get Marvin Harrison Jr. involved in the offense. Took way too long to get him the targets that we think he needs to get in this offense. Once again, wondering who's going to be the number 2 wide receiver, because after Marvin Harrison Jr. and Trey McBride, you know what I see? 1 catch for Tip Ryman, 1 catch for Trey Benson, 4 catches for James Conner. Those are tight ends and running backs. These are the other wide receivers in this offense. Michael Wilson, 1 catch, 5 yards on 4 targets. Zay Jones, 1 catch, 4 yards on 1 target. Greg Dortch, 1 catch, -2 yards on 1 target. Still wondering who's going to emerge as the second option in this offense. That is still a question mark that I have. So all of the things we were worried about coming into the season, I don't feel better about. And I wanted you to go into this game on Sunday, take care of business. Make it non-competitive going into the fourth quarter. And you know what the sad part is? They had a golden chance to do so. We talked on Friday, I think it was, about how we were going to evaluate and grade Kyler Murray's performance in this game. And I do want to give Kyler a little bit of an excuse, a little bit of an off-ramp, because he was sick. Apparently was sick until the early hours of the morning and gutted it out and played for his team. So it's week 1 as well. So I don't want to immediately jump to the criticism of the quarterback, because there are reasons for why it got off to a slow start. But you had a chance to do exactly what we outlined on Friday. We said we were going to judge Kyler Murray on how this offense functioned on those drives that you just circled. You just circle drives throughout the course of the game, and you say, we need points on these drives. This is a drive that has to end in 6. And sure enough, in week 1, we had exactly that type of drive. You come out, and in your first drive of the third quarter, you go 6 plays, 49 yards, and you take a 20-10 lead. You have a 2-possession lead here in the second half. And then the Saints get the ball back, and they go on a long drive. They go 14 plays, 53 yards, 5 minutes, and they have this emotional letdown. They miss the field goal. They go on this long drive, and they're going to end in 3 points. They're going to make it a one-possession game with the way their defense had been playing. They would be play inspired, knowing that they could get their offense the ball back with a chance to tie it, and they miss the field goal. That's where you needed the killer instinct. That's where you needed the drive of all drives. You pull all the tricks out of the toolbox. Drew Petzing needed to get in his bag on that drive. You go up, you score a touchdown, you take a 27-10 lead, and guess what? I think we're talking today about a game that went exactly how we wanted it to on Friday, where they have the game in hand in the fourth quarter, and they were in firm control of the game all throughout. But yet, you go 5 plays, 11 yards, and you punt, and you don't score the points. And in fact, you don't score any points the rest of the game. You miss a field goal later on in the game. You had your chance there on that drive after they missed that field goal to go for the kill, to go for the drive that ended this game. Okay, played around a little bit. It's week 1, dusting off the cobwebs. Everybody's trying to get into gear. That's nice. We played a competitive first half. You gave us an opening. You opened the door. We're going to break the door down. We're going to kick the door in off of its hinges. They didn't do that. They had a chance to do that. And so if we're just grading it off of that possession alone, you left a lot to be desired. Your defense, especially the pass rush, left a lot to be desired. I still have questions about this play calling. I mentioned it took way too long to get Marvin Harrison Jr. involved in this offense. There was a play early. I think it was the first pass play of the game. They ran a play where Trey McBride was in motion, and he went right out to the flat, and it was just a quick, Kyler got the ball right out to Trey McBride.
It's the first down of the game.
Where are those plays for Marvin Harrison Jr.? That is a schemed play to get the ball into Trey McBride's hands early in the game. Where are those plays for Marvin Harrison Jr.? And I hate that on a day where the Cardinals win and they're 1-0 and they're tied for the division, I'm still left asking the same questions. Now, to put a positive spin on this for a second, while they didn't play great, while their offense still left me with a bunch of question marks, I've seen this team, this franchise, play that exact game and lose. They play with their food a little bit. They allow a team that they are much better than on paper hang around, and they lose those games because they allowed the team to hang around. They didn't allow that to happen. And this isn't college football. And don't worry, I have plenty of thoughts on the college football from over the weekend that we're going to get to here in a little bit.
Speaking of college football, I want to congratulate Brian. Arkansas. I mean, they took it to Arkansas State.
I am somewhat surprised that the phone wasn't ringing the moment that the Open played today to dunk on me and the show for the way that we conducted ourselves on Friday with Brian.
A 52-14 win for Arkansas.
And Brian also won the pick segment for the week.
He did.
Because you didn't get a pick right, and so he guaranteed tied or beat you.
So to have 2 of my picks driving at the end of the game and fumble inside the red zone is so killer. That's how I lost both picks. Are you kidding me? Whatever.
You're 0-3 to start the year. I'm only 1-2. I wasn't that much better than you, so you're fine. It's still a long season. But Brian, all you have to do in the pick segment is tie one of us. And so when you don't get any of the picks right, it's pretty easy to tie us. It's pretty easy to make sure that you win the pick 'em segment on Friday. I'm surprised he didn't open the show. But I've seen the Cardinals lose this game before. And this isn't college. Style points don't matter. 1-0. That's all that matters for the Cardinals. And we know this team's going to have to get to at least 9, probably get to 10 or 11 to make the postseason. Well, guess what? That's 1. And we said you have to go 4-2, 5-1 to start this schedule. You took care of business in the first game that you were supposed to win. This is a game on the schedule. You were supposed to win. You're supposed to be 1-0. You're supposed to walk into the home opener next week against Carolina 1-0. You did that. It was ugly. It wasn't pretty for 4 quarters. I've got a lot of question marks that we're going to try to evaluate here throughout the week. But it's much easier to have those conversations when you're talking about a 1-0 football team. Because you know what? We could be talking about how great an offense Baltimore has. They're 0-1 to start the year. Trust me, we'll get to that in the NFL Rewind at the bottom of the hour. You could be 0-1 today, asking a lot of questions about yourself. Instead, the Cardinals are 1-0, and we're asking questions. Guess what? That's what good/great teams do. They find ways to win, and they address their issues throughout the week. So it's a mixed bag, right? I think you get the win. You're happy about the win. You're happy about starting 1-0. You're happy about winning a game in which you didn't play your sharpest. It's week 1. You dusted the cobwebs off. You didn't have that crushing loss in week 1 in a game that you're supposed to win. But I don't feel better about the wide receiver room. I don't feel better about the way the offense looked. I don't feel that much better about the way Kyler Murray's going to play. I still have all of those same questions here going into week 2.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot to be desired from week 1. I think you said it most importantly. That is a game they lost last year in Carolina.
Right, exactly.
And so you take your takeaways, understand there's a lot to be fixed. You are 1-0 in the National Football League, and that's what matters, right? So now you have Carolina next week. Address your situation, address what went wrong in week 1, and understand what we have to fix. But also know you're 1-0, and I thought the Saints admittedly looked better than I had thought they did on paper.
Well, Alvin Kamara was really good in the game.
Alvin Kamara was really good, and I'll say it, like, Rattler wasn't as bad as I thought he would be.
No, didn't turn the ball over, right? Didn't throw an interception in the game. There were no turnovers on either side of the ball. I thought the defense played better. I mean, 5 sacks for the Saints defense.
And we'll talk about some of those, I'm sure. But, yeah, I thought the Saints looked better than I had originally assessed them to, which tend to be what I thought for a couple teams around the league.
Yeah, certainly week 1, you now get to see if your suspicions about a team throughout the course of the offseason through the summer months is true or false, at least through the first week of the year. And we got some confirmation on maybe some things that we believed. And at least for me personally, there were some things I thought about teams that just flat out wrong, at least through 1 week
certainly
of the season. And so that's why we do the NFL Rewind. We get to share our thoughts on all of those games. So we'll do that here in just a little bit. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also join us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. You can chat away over there. We certainly shout out some great comments that happened throughout the course of the show over there, like John, who said the Cardinals only scored 3 points in the second half. Not good. Yeah, you score 3 points in the second half against a bunch of other teams that you're going to play on your schedule this year, and I don't think you're going to win a lot of football games. I think you got away with one. That's okay. Again, we're not calling the league office. We're not giving the win back today. Team's 1-0, tied for first place in the division. They scored the most points on offense out of any of the teams in the NFC West. Fine. You take it, you move on, you make the adjustments, you make the corrections, and you hopefully put out a better product in the home opener against Carolina. But at the end of the day, a win is a win is a win. Speaking of winning, there was a college football program over the weekend that didn't do the winning. They went on the road and they lost. We'll talk about the embarrassing performance from Arizona State next. It's the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
James Out West, your desert destination for sports here in the Valley.
You've seen Shador. We've all seen him. He's, kind of everybody gravitates toward him.
He's got aura.
There we go. Thank you, as the young kids say. He's just there doing his job. He shows up early. He stays late. He's not posting it on social media to post it on social media to say, look at me. What you see is when he shows up to a neighborhood in which just got burned down, the apartment complex, and he sets up food trucks. I can't wait to see what happens for him, and I think that they have a good foundation for the future.
It's James Out West, every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app. Make memories you'll cherish for years to come. Join Miss Appleberry, JJ, Cody, Nina, and Cece for a lively Melon Patch musical adventure in this exciting interactive live show. Saturday, October 4th and Sunday, October 5th at the Arizona State Fair. Sing along. Dance along. Play together. Tickets on sale now at azstatefair.com and include Arizona State Fair admission. It's a celebration of connection and childhood wonder. Coco Melon Sing Along Live inside the Coliseum at the Arizona State Fair.
SRP wants to remind you that swim safety starts with W. That's right, W, as in Water Watcher. Keep pool time a good time by designating an adult who can swim and knows CPR. Be sure they avoid distractions, always scan the swimming area, and ensure that the pool gate stays locked. Assigning a water watcher is a simple step to help prevent drownings and keep everyone safe around pools. To get more water safety tips, visit srp.net/pool.
Fargo, your virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Fargo is only available on the smartphone versions of the Wells Fargo mobile app. Wells Fargo Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Live the horror at Universal Studios Hollywood Halloween Horror Nights. Select nights September 4th to November 2nd. Face your fears in post-apocalyptic LA and a haunted house based on the hit show Fallout. Don't fall victim to Art the Clown inside a grisly Terrifier haunted house like nothing you've seen before. And that's only 2 of 8 terrifying haunted houses. Grab your tickets now at universalstudioshollywood.com/Halloween. Event not recommended for children under 13.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. Well, that was quite a start to the NFL season, especially for Philadelphia Eagles star defensive tackle Jalen Carter, who managed to get himself ejected before being on the field for even one snap. That's not easy to do, but easier for Carter than most because, as I posted on the X last night, quote, I have never seen a guy get hooked that badly before a game even started. And never forget, it was Carter's coach, Nick Sirianni, who famously said, quote, less thinking equals talent takeover, end of quote. Yeah, except in this case, there was no thinking and even less talent takeover because Carter got run for doing one of the dumbest things ever. And no, Dak Prescott did not do anything wrong. And yes, the punishment for Carter absolutely fit the crime. He'll be lucky if the league does not tack on another game for stupidity. And he's even more fortunate that that stupidity didn't cost Philadelphia that game because it could have and probably should have. Wake the hell up, big dog. I'm Jim Rome. Football season is back on Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. So don't miss any of the action this season with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use my code ROME and get $50 in bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code ROME on Prize Picks to get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
You need parts? O'Reilly has parts. Get 1 free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select pads for just $10. Or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or Import Direct pads for just $20. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. On your ride home from work, join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
If we owned our own football team called the Angry Roosters, and we kept signing people to contracts, and they weren't honoring their contracts and kept demanding raises, at what point do we throw our hands up and just say no to everybody? We signed you to a contract. Play out your contract, and that's it. You earn a better contract on your next one, we'll pay you for that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Yeah, there it is. There's the victory lap that I was anticipating coming. Came during the break. Brian chimed in over on YouTube and said, oh, yeah, boys, team listeners take an early lead in the Pick'em contest. I guess my 2-point Green Bay Detroit under carried today. I'll have to call in and take a victory lap. I don't know if we'll take the phone call, Brian. I don't know. We'll see. Your last phone call wasn't that great. Now you're taking the victory lap on us. And again, you just had to beat producer Evan, who didn't score a single point over the weekend. But yes, team listeners have a 1-0 lead over the show. Because you just have to beat one of us. You don't have to beat both of us. You have to beat one of us.
It's week 1. I love the week 2 slate and the spreads. I think I'm going to go undefeated.
My guy's already looking ahead towards week 2. It's Monday.
On to Cincinnati.
Week 1's not even done yet. Monday Night Football is tonight. You're already game planning.
On to Cincinnati.
Fair enough. My Cincinnati pick, my 3-point play was not a good one.
No. And by the way, just everybody concerned about them, they will be fine. If you think the offense stinks in Cincinnati, guess what? It doesn't.
That was good. They won a game, and we'll get to this in the rewind here in just a little bit. But they won the game that last year they lost, right? The close week 1 game where their offense didn't play all that great. They found a way. Oh, and producer Evan's picking up the phone, so I know who this is. Well, I'll make a determination in real time. I want to get some ASU agita off my chest here. And I don't know if taking the phone call from Brian is going to make it better or worse. If it's going to get me more fired up, I guess I should get it out of the way, right? Get it out of the way.
Take him now.
All right, Brian, go ahead. Take the victory lap for team listeners. You're 1-0 to start the year as a group. Go ahead.
Hey, Chris. Yeah, just feel free to reach out to me, on those Fridays if you've got any questions on, spreads or leans and I can point you guys in the right. No, seriously. That was not as enjoyable this weekend as I anticipated. I've never been in a situation where like my picks were out there in the public domain. So it was stressful as heck watching this thing. That was first the Arkansas game, obviously. And I misfired on that Cincinnati game, but anyways, it was a blast talking to you guys last Friday. Looking forward to this week. Hopefully someone else steps up and takes the mantle this week and goes through what I did this weekend, but glad it all worked out. Let's keep going and looking forward to talking some ASU football with you.
I appreciate the call, Brian. I honestly don't know if it was me, if I was in Brian's shoes, if I would have been more nervous about the Arkansas pick that got thrown out in the leftovers
Way
or the
more
actual
nervous.
show picks. I think the Arkansas pick would have made me more nervous.
Way more nervous. Because he called in and said there was a difference between, I can give you a couple NFL picks. I have a college lock.
Use the word lock on a Friday. Like, all right, you've piqued my interest. And so good for Brian. And yes, Brian not eligible to play this week. He won last week. He cannot participate. He can't represent team listeners. So somebody else is going to have to carry the mantle this week, or else it's going to be a default victory for us. We're going to,
and you don't want that.
You do
I
not
mean,
want
listeners
that.
up 1-0 right
you,
now.
You want to bury us early, because don't let us get hot. You let us get hot with the picks. Look out. Speaking of college, and speaking of talking Arkansas State, the ASU 6-point favorite, 6.5-point favorite on the road against Mississippi State this weekend, and they went in there, they embarrassed themselves. An absolutely abysmal performance against Mississippi State, to the point where they're out of the AP poll. Dropped from 12 all the way to the first team receiving votes, meaning they're team number 26 in the country. Completely removed from the AP poll, and deservingly so after that performance. Got completely outplayed in the first half of that football game. Came out, credit to Kenny Dillingham, credit to Sam Leavitt, credit to the offense. They found it in the second half. But unfortunately, when you play around the way that they did, and they only got 3 at the end of the game to go up 20-17, they invited what happened to end that game. And I'll tell you, my immediate thoughts after the game, and I've had a couple days to think about it, and I think I'm in the same spot, and maybe somebody can talk me back off of this. They're back to square one for me. They are back to the beginning of building trust with me. They aren't Ohio State or Clemson or Alabama, a program that has had years, decades in some cases, of success, to where you have a small blip on the radar. You can say, well, look at how great this program has been forever. They'll get back up. They'll dust themselves off. They'll be fine the following week. They'll be fine for the rest of the year. I don't have that type of history. I don't have that type of lineage. You compare it to the stock market. Ohio State, Clemson, Alabama. These are the Microsoft, Googles of the world. When they have a bad quarter, there's not a massive fire sale of stock. There's maybe a small little sell-off, but there's the expectation that those are well-run companies. They are innovators. They are going to figure it out. They are going to get back to the standard that they have created. I ask this question not as a shot at the program, but just to show you where I think this team is at. What standard has ASU set up for themselves? 1 year does not create a standard. This year was supposed to create the standard. And in the first chance you get on the road against an SEC team, for the first time in program history being favored against an SEC team, in this game on the road in Mississippi State, what did we say last week? Boy, if you lose this game, you're going to create all the narratives in the world for everybody to doubt you. The AP poll dropped in 25. All I heard all weekend was about cowbells. All I heard after the game was about cowbells. And you got to lose that football game, and you watched as those fans stormed the field and carried those goalposts out of the building. That's what you did in week 2 of the season. And so for me, you were all the way back to square one. Last year does not matter to me anymore. It didn't the moment the season started, but I don't want to hear another word about what happened last year, because you, in the second straight big spot that you've been in, and I don't know how much I would describe Mississippi State on the road as a big spot, but it certainly turned into one. You ran a 0 blitz, and you got beaten over the top for a big play. The 4th down play against Texas, where if you make that play and you don't 0 blitz, we're talking about a team that continues to play in the college football playoff, and you played man coverage on the back end of that play on Friday. You got beat over the top, and it was over.
I can't believe they did it again. I can't believe they did something as similar as they did against Texas. There was so much I have wrong with this game. We'll start with, this is the worst game I've ever seen Sam Leavitt play.
He was just missing
easy and for the first time in the entire Kenny Dillingham era, they felt unprepared. Even when they were bad, they never felt unprepared. Today or Saturday, they felt completely unprepared to play in that environment against that team.
Sam Leavitt threw 2 interceptions. And you want me to read to you the final box score?
It's bad. I'm looking at it right here. It's 10 of 22, 82 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks.
He averaged 3.7 yards.
A throw. That's the lowest I've ever seen.
And what did we say about the NAU game? Why did you get away from the run?
You averaged 4.9 yards a carry as a team.
And it's only because in the second half, you just decided, you know what?
Don't throw it.
I'm taking the ball out of Sam's hands.
And then I got another question for you on a coaching front. You have a 4th and a, half yard, let's call it, at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
You can get the first down before you score.
I think it was a mistake, and clearly now it just sounds like I'm using the benefit of hindsight that they lost the game. You can't settle for 3 in that spot.
So I don't even mind kicking it, really. That's not even my biggest concern. But you don't line up to at least, 1, see the look you get. But 2, you make a 23-yard attempt, a 28-yard attempt. If you don't at least try to get them to jump. That never crossed anybody's mind.
So they went on a drive. They started the drive at their own 5-yard line. They went on a 17-play, 95-yard drive that took 8 minutes and 54 seconds off the clock, and it ended with the field goal that gave them the lead. When they kicked the field goal, there was 1 minute and 38 on the clock. The game was 17-17 at that point. If you don't get it, let's say you don't get it, you go for it and you don't get it, they would have had the ball on
the 1.
Well, in college, does it go to where the spot is on the kick? In the NFL, it goes to where the spot is on the kick. Does it?
Sorry. So
if they go for it, right? They go for it and they miss it, and Mississippi State gets the ball at the 1, right?
Yeah.
So they then have to drive
99 yards.
Well, they would have only needed a field goal at that point. It's 17-17.
Yeah.
So let's call it 60 yards in a minute. Did they have timeouts? No, they burned their last timeout. So they would have had to gone that length of the field, 60-plus yards. Kenny is so aggressive. I don't understand why he backed off the aggressiveness.
I also think, too, and I've always, when you put yourself or put them down, had you got a sack on Mississippi State in the first 4 plays, or had they not been able to get the ball out of their end zone?
That was chunk play after chunk play.
You play, you give Mississippi the ball at the 1. You know what they're not doing? They're not taking an 8-step or 7-step drop and throwing the ball down the right sideline. It's either a quick out, a quick completion across the middle of the field, or they're running a dive. And just to get out of the own end zone. And if they don't get more than 3, they're playing for overtime.
And I forget what the timeout situation was, but ASU had some timeouts in their back pocket as well, right?
Yeah.
So if you back them up at the 1, to your point, nothing is going to be this long developing play. And if you can make a couple of stops or you tackle guys in space, you could get the ball back in a position where then you can play for the field goal. For a guy and a coach who was so aggressive, it felt like to me, he realized his team was on the ropes and he was just trying to get out of there with a victory.
And I will also tell you, have you ever seen a team that just doesn't quarterback sneak it? I mean, they had so many short yardage situations. They never run a quarterback sneak.
I hated a lot of what they did offensively in the first half. I hated the way Sam Leavitt played. I mean, he looked like a true freshman who had never played college
I was going to
football.
say, that was, even in his first starts, that was the most lost I've seen him.
And I don't understand why the first half even happens. This is a bunch of the same team that almost beat Texas. This is a bunch of the same team that absolutely demolished Iowa State. They just forgot how to win. They forgot how to compete. It felt like a team that was unprepared. It felt like a team, and I hate to say this, it felt like a team that's been reading their own press clippings all summer long.
It really did. I mean, even on their first series, how about the one thing I've always loved about Sam is he's a gamer, right? He's kind of in there. He's running around. He's got this cannon arm. He's gonna let it rip. And
didn't feel like it.
It didn't. That was the first game where it's like, even when they lose, he always is fun. In Texas, not saying he was great, but he was a gamer and ran around and kept you in that game. And it just didn't happen this time. And it really left me confused and concerned about what this offense is. How about on their first series of the game, they had a play where he misses Malik McClain on, it's probably a 5-yard out, and he throws it over his head.
Oh, throws it well over his head.
But before that, on that same play, the original read is a deep post, and he has him. If he lets it rip, they pick up 40.
Just felt like a quarterback who wasn't very confident. Just felt like a quarterback who was never comfortable during that game. And unfortunately, this is college football. You lose the game. You lose on the road as a 6.5-point favorite.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They have to win the conference now if they want to get in the playoffs.
And I don't even want to have that conversation.
It doesn't feel like they deserve that conversation.
They don't deserve to be talked about as a team that's going to the Big 12 title. Again, back to square one. They are back to square one with me. Kenny, Sam Levitt, everybody, back to square one. You lose a game like this, you don't have a resume to fall back on. You can't just look at just keep pointing to last year to make up for it. No. You got to go out there and do it. And they didn't do it over the weekend. They embarrassed themselves. And they made all of the talk of playing We Are the Champions and we're putting the past in the past. I don't think so. Didn't feel like it on Saturday. Felt like a team that was very stuck in the past, feeling like they can just waltz in there to an SEC school and take care of business. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, it is the Week 1 NFL Rewind. We go through all of the games that occurred yesterday and Friday in the NFL. I give you my quick thoughts on them all. We'll get to it next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Stevie Nicks. One special night, October 7th, PHX Arena. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Stevie Nicks. Live at PHX Arena.
Hey, it's Austin Clark, owner of Moxie Pest Control. You know, most pest control companies use the same products we do. That's not the difference. But what is the difference is how we treat people. At Moxie, kindness counts. And it shows in every visit, every conversation, and every one of the 6,500 plus 5-star Google reviews our customers have written. Our field experts aren't just trained to handle pests. They're trained to treat your home, your family, your pets, and your time with the kind of respect you deserve. And our services come with a pest-free guarantee. Our methods and service just work better because our people are better. So if you want a pest control company you can trust in and around your home, give us a call. We offer same-day services in most cases, and we'll even give you 50% off your first service when you call. Call 888-MOXIE-10. That's 888-MOXIE-10. Moxie Pest Control, the highest and most reviewed pest control company in Arizona.
Hi, I'm Andrew the Homebuyer. Selling your house right now the traditional way isn't so easy. The average home is taking months to sell. Fortunately, I can help. I'll come to your home and give you a cash offer within minutes. Then we can close in under 5 days. And I'll make sure you get as much money for your house as possible. Call me, Andrew the Homebuyer, today, and let's get your home sold. Visit AndrewTheHomebuyer.com. That's AndrewTheHomebuyer.com.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As director of diamond sourcing, it's my job to make sure every single diamond is worthy of a Shane Company engagement ring. Our team travels the world to see diamonds in person and handpick each one. That type of dedication only comes from working for a company that's been a family business since 1929. No matter your budget, your diamond is guaranteed to be the most beautiful because a friend wants you to pick from only the best. Drop by your store or shaneco.com and see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Global Credit Union, how can I help you?
It's one of those voice prompts.
Representative! Good morning. How can I help?
Wait, is this a real person?
It's 2 a.m.
We're here to help members 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Impossible.
At Global, possible. Learn more at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, your world of financial possibilities.
It's the Dan Patrick Show.
Ben DiNucci, NFL quarter. I'm still going to introduce you as NFL quarterback. Being on the practice squad, what's the difference in how you're treated, lifestyle?
Honestly, nothing's different. I mean, there's 53 guys on the active roster and there's 16 on the practice squad. And the reality of the NFL is that guys are going to get hurt. There's a reason that these teams put a lot of effort into the practice squad, just like they do the active roster. It's really all the same. You're still traveling with the team. The pay cut's a little bit less, but at the end of the day, it's still great.
Live Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060 and the KTUS 1060 app.
It's been a while. We've had a chance to do this on the program. It's a Monday after the football week. So we have the NFL Rewind. Go through all the games. Instant thoughts from all of the action over the weekend. Producer Evan, guide us through the Week 1 NFL Rewind.
We'll start with Friday, south of the border. The Chiefs and the Chargers headed to Sao Paulo, Brazil. Chargers find a 6-point victory, 27-21 over the Chiefs.
Really impressive performance from the Chargers. I mean, Herbert goes for over 300, throws for a couple of touchdowns. Could you make the argument that he looked like the better quarterback on the field?
Certainly.
I mean, they just looked like they were up to the task of, hey, this division is not a lock to be the Chiefs. And I think the concerns that many of us have about the Chiefs and the supporting cast that they're going to have around Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce kind of reared their ugly head. And so a lot to unpack from this one, but my big takeaway is the Chargers showed that they were for real.
NFC West battle, Bucks at Falcons. Bucks with a late drive to score a touchdown. The Falcons come out, miss the field goal, 23-20 Buccaneers.
You have relocated the Bucks and the Falcons to the NFC West, I see. You said NFC West.
NFC South.
I've made that same mistake, so don't worry. But I didn't know if there was some relocation news.
No, my bad.
I'm surprised this game was this close. I mean, it was my 2-point play this week. The only one that I got right. I had the Bucks minus the 2.5. I felt like this was very much a number that did make sense. I thought the Bucks would completely take care of business. They got off to a really slow start in this game.
I will tell you two things that I think brought that line a little closer. One, it's in Atlanta in week 1. And 2, Atlanta did take both last year.
They did. And this game was, Bijan was great. Michael Penix, I thought, played better than even I thought he would play. And the Bucks, they got off to the slow start. And while I thought the Bucks would win this game, the Bucks aren't supremely talented to the point where if they slip up a little bit, they can still win comfortably. If they don't play their A game, they can allow anybody into a football game. That's what happened in this one, but they hold on to win. They're 1-0 to start the year.
Emeka Egbuka is a problem, by the way.
Certainly feels like with Mike Evans on the back nine of his career that having somebody to replace him, and feels like Egbuka could be that guy.
AFC North, certainly.
Very good.
Bengals with a 1-point victory over the Browns in the Battle of Ohio.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could have all the concerns you want about the Bengals offense. My takeaway is this is the game they lost last year. They played this exact game against the Patriots, and they lost. They won it this time. And credit to the defense. They came up with the play when they needed to on Joe Flacco and this offense, right? They came up with the play, the thing they didn't do last year against New England. So I think the Bengals offense is going to be fine. I think the Browns are going to be pesky all year. I think they can play that exact style and keep themselves in every game.
Defense is going to be good, looks like, early. So we'll see what they look like all year. I think you're right. I think they're going to be pesky. And Flacco can get you a win that you probably shouldn't have.
So keep your offense on schedule.
In probably the surprise of the day.
Hold on, let me adjust my eyes here. Hold on, what?
The Colts take it to the Dolphins at home, 33-8. Biggest thing about this game, 7 drives, 7 scores for Daniel Jones and the Colts in a blowout win.
He threw for 272 yards. I mean, he looked like a different quarterback. And with the way the Giants played, I'm sure we'll get to them here at some point. Like, maybe it wasn't Daniel Jones. Maybe Daniel Jones wasn't the problem. Pittman had a great game. Taylor did well running the football. The Miami Dolphins are a dumpster fire. Dumpster fire. That team looked abysmal. You should not be blown out again by the Indianapolis Colts. Shouldn't happen. Tyreek Hill yelling on the sidelines. It's bad.
All week long, the conversation is going to be, are the Colts good or are the Dolphins just that bad?
I think the Dolphins are just that
bad. And
I
think it could be a mix of both, actually.
I think the Dolphins are just that bad.
All right. Listen, I was all over this one.
Your Las Vegas Raiders.
My Las Vegas Raiders get a 7-point win over the Patriots in New England. And yes, they played well on the East Coast. Concerns about Brock Bowers, though, who got hurt in the game.
Yeah, that will be a huge loss for them offensively. I think that's a huge safety blanket, and I don't mean that in a negative way, just a huge benefit for Geno Smith, who threw for nearly 400 yards in this one. For the Patriots, not the start to the Mike Vrabel era that you wanted. Felt like they could never really get in gear offensively in this one. Shout out to Pete Carroll, 1-0 to start his tenure there in Vegas.
An interesting one. Would have never taken the over. The Steelers and the Jets didn't in a shootout.
Didn't have
Chris Boswell's 60-yard field goal to win, which felt like that's how this game was going to end. Just not 34-32 Steelers.
Yeah, didn't have 66 points on my bingo card for this one. It was a back-and-forth affair. Aaron Rodgers looked great, throwing for 4 touchdowns in this one. Justin Fields and the Jets offense looked great. The difference, 1 turnover in the game. The Steelers score. They then get a turnover on the ensuing kickoff. They score 2 plays later. That was the difference in the game. And then obviously Chris Boswell's 60-yard field goal. But both teams looked really good offensively, looked better than I think most people thought they would. And now it's a question of, was that a one-off, or can both teams build off of what they did successfully on offense?
Battle in the NFC East. The Giants head to Washington. They lose 21-6. And you have to ask the question, already Daboll not committing to a starter in week 2.
Committed this morning.
Did he?
Russell Wilson will be the starter for week 2, but I see this going sideways in a hurry because they're on the road in Dallas this week. And let's imagine a world for a second where this offense continues to struggle, because let's face it, I don't know how much of this game you watched. I watched a lot of it. This offense can't do anything. And I don't think it's going to get any better. I don't think there's a scheme change here or some different play design that's going to make things better for this team offensively. And so that begs the question. They've been on the road the first 2 weeks of the season. They play poorly against Dallas. They come back home, their 3rd game of the season. I'm not trying to pop quiz you here. Do you know who they play the 3rd week of the season, Producer Evan? Do you know the game? Do you know where it slots in on the schedule?
I don't.
Sunday Night Football, their home opener against the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. First time the fans are going to get a chance to see this offense, see this team in person. Jackson Dart may be the starter by halftime of that game.
I really think it could be a quick change. It is also, and I said this to my buddies when I was watching football, it's hard to remember what Russell Wilson ever was with how they look right now.
Yeah, this version of him is really bad. All right, we got to fly. We got a bunch of games left to do.
Panthers at Jaguars. Jags take it 26-10.
This game had the weird lengthy delay because of the weather. And the Jags 1-0 to start the year, took care of business, did what you're supposed to do against the Panthers. I thought Travis Hunter, the way they had him mostly on offense, a couple plays on defense, they said that they're not committal to that being the way that he'll be utilized every single week, that it will be a week-to-week game plan thing. But, hey, Lawrence only throws for 178 yards and a touchdown, but you take care of business, you win by multiple scores. That's what you're supposed to.
Cam Ward makes his NFL debut in a 20-12 loss to the Broncos.
I'll tell you what, Broncos weren't that impressive. I was not impressed by this Broncos performance. Defensively, they did what you expect their defense to do. But offensively, he threw the ball 40 times. We only had 176 passing yards. You got Bo Nix screaming at his receiver to stop on a route. Supposed to sit down against the zone. He kept running the route. Miscommunication. It didn't look great. It did not look great. Now, it's week 1, dusting the cobwebs off, but they're going to need a elevated offense in order to win this division, and I was not all that inspired. It's the Tennessee Titans on the other side of the ball. Like, you should be able to score more than 20 points.
San Francisco gets the late turnover on a Sam Darnold fumble. They finish out 17-13 win in Seattle.
You're hurt by this one, right?
This one hurts.
This one hurts because it was your
three-point play.
Your 3-point play.
I still feel confident about it. The things that I like, the things.
Wait. Time out. You still feel confident in the pick, even though it was a loser?
Yeah, because I was right.
Well, wait a minute. No, you don't have 3 points to show for it.
No. But my theory of it was right. I think the Niners are worse than anybody else thinks.
They weren't that impressive.
They were not at all impressive.
You know who I was impressed by?
The next one.
Yeah, go to the next game.
The Lions head to Green Bay and get crushed by the Packers. Little interesting stat for you now. Ready? Jared Goff has had 5 offensive coordinators in his career, 5 different play callers. 0-19-1 when the play caller isn't Sean McVay or Ben Johnson.
Packers looked really impressive.
Really impressive.
Jordan Love looked good. Defense was flying around making plays. It's the reason why I picked them, reason why they were in the power rankings, reason why they might move up in the power rankings here when we do them on Thursday.
Another late fumble. Texans lose 9-14 to the Rams in L.A.
Matt Stafford looked good.
They scored 14 points.
I know, but it looked like he was okay. It looked like he was healthy. We'll see how he feels the rest of this week. That Puka Nacua connection he has, 10 catches, 130 yards there. They're 1-0.
1-0.
3 teams that are tied atop the NFC West standing.
In the game of the day, the Bills.
Game of the season. I don't know what's topping this.
The Bills with a late game comeback by Matt Prater, who knocks it through for a 1.41-40 win over the Ravens on Sunday Night Football.
You have a 34-19 lead going to the fourth quarter, and you somehow lose the football game. Derrick Henry rushes for 169 yards and 2 touchdowns, and you lose. Zay Flowers, 143 yards and a touchdown. You still lose. You scored 40 points and still lost. Luckily, it's week 1, and so there's a chance you can get up from this, but man, that was going to be a statement win to start the year. And yet you gave it away to the Buffalo Bills. I don't know what tops that. But let me tell you something right now. Spoiler alert. Baltimore not going to be the number 1 team when we do the power rankings.
No, can't be. And the Bills, they can't be either. You gave up 40 points.
You're getting a little trolled. Brian over on YouTube says, "Hey, Evan, DraftKings just called, and they're actually going to pay off your Seahawks pick because you're still confident it was the right pick."
It was. I stand by it.
You don't have
both feet on the ground. Stand by what I said. Yeah.
You don't have 3 points to show for it. The NFL Week 1 rewind. One more game tonight, Monday Night Football. The Bears and the Vikings close out Monday night and close out Week 1 here later on this evening. When we come back, wrap up hour number 1, a rapid fire, a 2-minute drill edition of Buy or Sell. We'll get to it next. It's the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Breaking Benjamin. Stay forever. And 3 Days Grace. Live. October 8th at Desert Diamond Arena with special guest Return to Dust. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Don't miss Breaking Benjamin and 3 Days Grace, presented by the Big Red Radio.
Cool off with a road trip to northern Arizona's beautiful AAA Four Diamond Resort.
Place to come when you wanna have too much fun.
Football freaks, crush our $57,000 pigskin pick'em and score up to $500 free play weekly and up to $5,000 cash at season's end. Swipe your Players Club card at any kiosk to make your picks. Mondays 10 a.m. through Saturdays 5 p.m. for the following week's games. 15 players will score cash or free play. You'll love Zenith Steakhouse, awarded for excellence by Wine Spectator, the D. Rona Award for Excellence, and Open Table Diner's Choice Award.
The place to come when you wanna have too much fun.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
If you could rewind 10 years, what would you do differently? Buy Apple stock at $20? Skip the ghost pepper challenge? Maybe even rethink the skinny jeans. Nate here, owner of Blue Sky Pest Control. Some regrets are harmless, termite damage isn't. You can't go back in time, but you can keep termites from eating your future. Call 602-BLUE-SKY today for your free termite inspection. Hello, Blue Sky. Goodbye, pest.
Join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Everyone's against Detroit. They think that because they lost Ben Johnson, that all of a sudden Detroit and Dan Campbell are going to fold. I think they're still going to be good. Everyone that's seen The Water Boy, read by you, he had the green notebook. So once Henry Winkler's character gave Red Bayou the notebook, which is Dan Campbell, he was able to execute it. But I think Dan Campbell could Red Bayou himself.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
All right. Wrapping up hour number 1 here of the show. A 2-minute drill version of buy or sell, because that's literally all we have left before hour number 1 of the program is in the books. And you can tell that it's back to being football time when the show just
I was going to say,
flies.
it's crazy what time it is. All right, ready?
Yes.
Trey Benson and James Conner should have more of a 50-50 split on carries for the rest of the year.
Ooh, I don't know about it's too easy. We're going to sell this one. We're going to calm it down after week 1.
Hottest takes in sports talk radio.
I mean, you are certainly living up to that billing. I think this is a little bit of a overreaction. A little bit of an overreaction. James Conner still the identity of the team, still the guy who provides the physicality, the angry runs, right? Kyle Brandt. I think they're going to 60-40.
Marvin Harrison Jr.'s Game 1 performance changes how you assess his season.
You're not saying that it changes the way I feel about Marvin Harrison Jr. It changes the way that I feel about his usage this year. Is what
Correct.
you're asking me.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, how could you not? I mean, we're back in the same spot. What do you end up with? 6 targets, 5 catches, 71 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, throw the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr. more. This isn't complicated. Apparently, it is though. So yes, my mindset has changed a little bit. 71 yards times 17 games. I can't.
I mean, it's well over 1,000.
I can't do that. 71 times 17 is 1,207 yards. Maybe not.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
And then he is on pace for 17 touchdowns.
I'll take the under on the 17 touchdowns, and I think I'll take the under on the 1,200 yards. But
I mean, listen, they're playing the Saints.
It was concerning. I was concerned.
It just again felt like they didn't scheme him open. Now I
You're
liked,
supposed to be better prepared.
and I liked that he had some completions over the middle. Felt like he never had those last year, and there was some in this game.
And then you know what happened? What if we just took a shot and we made a big play to Marvin Harrison Jr.?
But they never really schemed him open. And so that was another concern in week 1. The Colts are actually going to be a solid team this year.
Sell. I think that game on Sunday was more of an indictment of what the Dolphins are. The Dolphins are a mess. Their offense is inconsistent because of who their quarterback is. Their offensive line has a bunch of question marks. I don't know if Tyreek Hill is actually engaged into what's going on there. I've got questions about their defense. I think that was more of a show of how bad Miami's going to be this year than it is about how good Indy's going to be.
Are they going to fire Mike McDaniel midseason? You'd have to imagine if it keeps going.
And if we keep playing like this, then yes.
I mean,
they're certainly not going to. Do you know what the dead cap hit on Tua is?
I don't.
It's like $80 million in dead cap over like 2 seasons or 3 seasons or something like that. The number is insane. So they're going to try everything before they make the quarterback.
Yeah. The Lions have a serious problem without Ben Johnson.
I wouldn't say it's a serious problem because I thought that they would get off to a slow start offensively because of the change at coordinator, and that's not really what Dan Campbell's background is. And that is a lot of change. I won't say serious problem. I will say it's cause for concern that Green Bay made it look that easy against them.
I couldn't believe, too, how easy they went up and down the field in the first half.
Was impressive.
Was impressive.
Impressive by potentially the best team in football. Hour number 1 of the program in the books. Hour number 2 when we come back. It's the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
The NFL season is rolling, and every touchdown can bring you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, score over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code AM1060. That's code AM1060 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first $5 bet. Plus over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 and over. Arizona only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
Don't let the wrong gear ruin your time in the field. Upgrade your arsenal with premium brands at great prices during the Shields Hunting Sale event now through September 14th. Score free tax stamps for suppressor purchases over $5.99 and save big on Sitka, Lucky Duck, Shields Outfitters, and shot shells from the top brands. Join the community of hunters who trust Shields experts to outfit their adventures and get more bang for your buck now through September 14th at Shields.
9 Inch Nails. Live at Footprint Center, September 16th. Get tickets now at NIN.com. 9 Inch Nails, live in Phoenix. Peel It Back World Tour 2025.
Oh, Mr. Gecko, is it true what they say about Geico's emergency roadside service?
I'll own up to it. Yes, it's all true.
You mean to say Geico's emergency roadside service really is 24/7?
And it's available on the phone or app. It's all part of getting more with Geico. I don't mean to be rude, but could I scooch past you all? You're standing in the way of my yoga class.
One more, Mr. Gecko, the fans must know. Why yoga?
Well, it helps with my posture. It's my back. It ain't what it used to be.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico.
Jack here. My bonus Jack combo starting at $3.99 comes with fries, a drink, and a burger with 1, 2, or 3 patties. It's a meal that'll actually make you happy. Starting at $3.99. Get so much more.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Plus tax. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
I know. It's football season. I get it. Diamondbacks took 2 out of 3 over the weekend from the Boston Red Sox. They're 500 on the year. They're only 4.5 games back of the third and final wild card spot. They are the team we just can't quit here on the program. Can't do it. They're like the cockroach. They just won't die, won't go away. Somehow, September 8th, they are still mathematically in it. And with the way everybody around them is playing and with the way that they're playing, winners of 7 of their last 10 games, you kind of have to do a little bit of scoreboard watching, especially when tonight you start a 3-game series with the San Francisco Giants, a team that is directly in front of you in the standings. And so let's say you sweep the series. Let's say you take care of business in these 3 games. You then get to play Minnesota. You get to play that San Francisco team again. There's a world where you can make this a little bit competitive. Now, 4.5 games on the surface doesn't seem like a big mountain to overcome. The problem is there's only 18 games to go in the regular season. The Diamondbacks will play 6 more 3-game series before the year is done. 4.5 games, if this was May 1st, if this was June 1st, this was August 1st, would be a lot different. but it is 4.5 games with 18 games to play. You start by saying you got to sweep all 3 of these games against San Francisco. You just have to. You do that, you pass them in the standings, so one less team for you to worry about. You put a team behind you. As things currently stand, we look at the current wild card picture in the National League. The Mets hold on to that final spot. That's the spot really in question right now. You have the Cincinnati Reds and San Francisco Giants both at 72 and 71, 4 games back. Then you have the Cardinals and Diamondbacks, who are both at 500, 72 and 72. They're 4.5 games back. Mets start a 4-game series tonight with the Phillies, so not a cakewalk for them. You look at Cincinnati, who plays San Diego, not a cakewalk for Cincinnati. You play the Giants. There's a world where by the end of just tonight, you're in front of both Cincinnati and San Francisco, and you are the first team on the outside looking in. So, producer Evan, I ask you this question because you're the one to throw cold water on all of this stuff. Do we need to be scoreboard watching a little bit? Do we need to be paying attention to what's happening in Philadelphia tonight? Paying attention to what's happening out in San Diego with the Reds taking on the Padres? Or is 4.5 games back with 18 games to go? Is it just too much? Because mathematically, it's too much. They would have to go on an absolutely insane run. They've been 500. They're 72 and 72. They're a 500 baseball team. They're 7 and 3 in their last 10. They would have to continue that type of pace in order to close this gap.
To me, it feels like too much with your remaining schedule being at Giants, at Twins, then home against the Giants, home against the Phillies, home against the Dodgers, at Padres. Find your wins. Right? And in reality, how many games do you think you have to win? Let's be real. Say the Mets, if they have 18 games to go as well.
Mets have 19.
19. Let's say they go 9 and 10.
Okay.
And that's being generous to the Diamondbacks. Let's say they go 9 and 10.
Yeah, middle of the road, just about 500, 9 and 10.
You need to go 14 and
You need to go 14 and 5.
14 and 5.
You need to go 14 and 4.
14 and 4. So you'd have to let's just do it. You need to sweep the next 2 series.
Yeah, and that's where the math becomes a problem.
And then you need to win each of the next 4, which is Giants, Phillies, Dodgers, Padres.
I'll just say this. I'm just impressed that this team just won't
Certainly.
go
They
away.
won't quit. They won't go away. Do I think it's too late? Yes, I do. But, I mean, kudos to them because – and I know I said that record doesn't matter. The way they're playing right now might save Torrey's job.
And he does have 1 more year left on the contract, right?
It may – and so I think that they will go in with him on his last year because right now I don't think they make that change. I just don't.
No, because it's not that he just has held it together. They've been playing some of their best baseball since the trade deadline, since the Ketel Marte nonsense that we went through for a couple of days. Now, the way he handled Jordan Lawler last week, I did call it a fireable offense.
And it was.
And it wasn't great, although Lawler was in action all 3 days over the weekend, started 2 of the games.
Did not start on Saturday.
Was a pinch hitter, though late. Again, I want him to
By
play
the way,
every
who
day.
4 at-bats on Sunday got a hit, 3 at-bats on Friday got a hit.
Can I tell you what's more important than any of that? The 3 games, if you go back to the multi-hit game against Texas, where he got his first hits of the year.
Yep.
And you look at the previous couple of outings that he's had, appearances.
Yeah.
I think it's just 1 strikeout. That, to me, is more important than anything else. He was striking out a ton when things were going sideways for him. And now
It's 2. He struck out in the pinch hit, which is always tough. Just in his full starts, though, he has not struck out in his last 3 starts.
I look at when he first got called up. He had 1 strikeout in 3 at-bats against the Giants, 1 strikeout as a pinch hitter, 3 strikeouts and 4 at-bats against Colorado, 2 strikeouts and 2 at-bats against the Dodgers. Went 0 for 3, put the ball in play all 3 times against the Cardinals. 1 strikeout and 3 at-bats against Pittsburgh. 1 strikeout in 3 at-bats against Pittsburgh. In August, when he first got called up, 3 strikeouts and 4 at-bats against the Dodgers. 2 strikeouts and 4 at-bats against the Dodgers, also in that series. 2 strikeouts in that game against Texas. And then after that, he's had 2 strikeouts since in 4 games. In 11 at-bats. He's had 2 strikeouts since. He had 5 strikeouts in 8 at-bats in August. He had 9 strikeouts in 19 at-bats in May. He's had 18 strikeouts in 41 at-bats. He's only had 2 in his last 11. That, to me, is telling. It means he's seeing the ball better. He's putting the ball in play. Is it leading to results? No. But he's at least seeing the ball better, and he's making contact.
No, and I think from any eye test, his at-bats look way better.
I mean, the OPS is over 300.
So, over 300?
Over 300. He's got 2 RBIs now.
From the eye test alone, he looks way better.
That's why I want him playing every day. That's why it's frustrating that he didn't play on Saturday. It's frustrating that he was relegated to just pinch hit duty. Although, with the way Blaze Alexander is playing, I mean, maybe we should talk about this a little more on tomorrow's show because we're very jam-packed with football here today. That's one of your starting 9 next year.
Has to be.
I mean, Blaze Alexander is just...
I mean...
He's playing a left field position he's never played, and he's making game-saving catches out there.
I was going to say, they're moving him around the diamond, too. And it's everywhere he goes. It doesn't affect him in the field or at the plate.
Lawler had that error over the weekend.
He did.
Cost the team a couple of runs.
That is becoming a concern.
In general, the Diamondbacks defense over the last couple of days has been a bit of a concern.
They're not out, though. No, you got a puncher's chance.
Puncher's chance is, I think, the best way to describe where they're at. Because I just, 4.5 in 18 games, it requires you to play absolutely your best ball. And to use your math, they go 9-10, the Mets do. You have to beat them. You have to beat them by 5 games, don't you? Because of the tiebreaker?
Because the Mets have the tiebreaker.
So you have to go 5 games. You have to go 14-4.
Look at it this way. You are 5 games back. So you need to be 14-10, or 14-4. And you need them to be 9-10. Do any of the other teams? Cincinnati took 2 or 3 from the Mets over the weekend.
Yes, they did. They're going to play San Diego starting tonight. So
does Cincinnati have the tiebreaker over the Mets?
Cincinnati, I believe, owns the tiebreaker over the Mets. Yes. Oh yeah, they beat them 4 out of 6 this year.
Okay. So interesting. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. I think that became a lot tighter than we had expected. I still really just don't see any other team other than the Mets getting that last spot.
The math is the math, right? And the math is you have to play excellent ball while they play middling baseball. The Mets win 11. If they go 11-7, which isn't an inspiring run, but if they go 11-7,
you have to be almost perfect.
You can't lose a game, basically. You have to win 15, 16 games.
You have to go 16-18 or 16-2.
You have to play that well, and that's if the Mets are just barely a competent baseball team.
Like in serious, I think the Mets-Phillies start a 4-game series tonight.
They do.
The Mets have to get swept.
I mean, certainly the Mets getting swept by the Phillies in this 4-game series would open a lot of doors because it would change the math then. They get swept and you win 2 games during that stretch. It's now a 2.5-game deficit with 14 to play. And that's a little different now.
It's interesting.
I think you can't scoreboard watch this yet. You have to focus on...
To me, it's always, if it gets down to 2.
I think within 3 you can start to do it. And I think tonight there's a world where the Diamondbacks put themselves in a position where if they win, Mets lose, Padres beat the Reds.
You're 3.5.
You're 3.5 back, and you are the first team on the outside looking in. You just can't ignore. You can't ignore that. You can say that they don't have a good chance. You can say that the math is difficult. You can't ignore that they are back in a position, the first team on the outside looking in.
You can't ignore it, and it would be such an encouraging, impressive sign. It feels too little, too late. But I will tell you, like, I'm looking at the Mets schedule now. You got 4 at the Phillies. You got the Rangers, who aren't a bad team.
It's the 9th hardest schedule the rest of the way.
You got the Padres. You got the Nationals. There you go. There's 3 that they could win. You get the Cubs, and then you finish with the Marlins.
Here's a question for you. Are you rooting for the Reds or the Padres tonight?
You're rooting for the Padres.
Are you, though?
Is your argument that you could catch them?
My argument is if I win, if I take care of my business, isn't it better for the Reds to beat the Padres and move another spot a game closer to all of us?
And just bring that to more chaos?
Well, the math is different when there's 2 spots potentially up for grabs. Now, if the Diamondbacks lose, then yeah, the Padres winning is the best.
Yes, but I mean 6. Like we're talking about perfect baseball.
I mean, yeah, the Padres have a 2-game lead over the Mets for the second wild card
So you're
spot.
6 games behind them, 6.5.
So you would need a lot of help.
You would need 7 games.
So you're probably rooting for the Padres. Yeah. You're probably rooting to eliminate as many teams in your way as possible to the 3rd spot where the Mets
I mean,
currently
7
sit.
games in 18. 7-game lead, 18 to play. Has anybody ever blown that?
7-game lead with 18 to play?
Yeah.
I mean, the Mets did it in 2008 to the Phillies in the division. It was 7 games with 17 games to go.
That's what that was? I thought it was even longer.
2007. 2007
right?
was 7 games with 17 games to play.
Yeah.
That's one of the larger September collapses in the history of baseball. And there would be some poetry.
But they
in the
also,
Diamondbacks.
those teams played twice.
They did play a bunch in that stretch.
Right?
Well,
They played 7 games against each other.
And that's why playing the Giants tonight is so important. They are a team that technically is directly in front of you. And if you just sweep them, you put them
You
in
just
the
move them back.
You move them in the rearview mirror, and now it's just you. Like, you're just hanging out. And there would be some poetry in this year, potentially the Diamondbacks being the team that knocks out the Mets, when the Mets were the team last year, last day of the season, knocked the Diamondbacks out because them and the Braves split the doubleheader at the end of the season. I mean, I'm just...
It's possible.
The fact that we're even having this conversation, the fact that this is even a possibility, goes to show you how hard this team is playing.
I also want to look like you're tied with the Cardinals. Who do they got?
Who do the Cardinals draw?
They got Seattle this week.
It's not
an easy task.
It's not an easy task. They play the Reds here coming up. The Reds and the Cardinals meet up for 3 towards the end of the season.
Good. I hope they split.
Yeah, that's one of those weird ones where you kind of hope that nobody really gets an upper hand in that series. But I'm looking at let me look at the Cardinals schedule here the rest of the way, because they play the Mariners, then the Brewers, the Reds, the Brewers, and the Giants and the Cubs to end the year. That's a gauntlet of a schedule.
That is a gauntlet of a schedule.
So yeah, I mean, you want to sit down tonight and you want to watch the Diamondbacks play baseball because they are potentially a couple of results away from tonight being the first team on the outside looking in. That means it's legitimate.
Do you know what's great too? Love how sometimes I love the West Coast timing. Football is going to start at 5:30.
Yeah.
Right. So we're going to be 8:30 game over. Let's be generous. Call it 8:50.
Sure.
Diamondbacks going to be like in the 6th, 5th. Sit down and watch the last 4.
Yeah, you can watch the last couple of innings of the game. And again, there's a world. Mets lose tonight. You beat the Giants. Padres beat the Reds. That's not an outlandish result card. You will be the first team on the outside looking in of the wild card, and you will be just 3.5 games back. That is a reality that could be present when we walk in here tomorrow. So you can't ignore it. It may not be likely. You just can't ignore that is that possibility. We'll see how the team plays tonight. It does feel like they're asking a lot of their starters right now. Their bullpen did have another meltdown over the weekend. Their defense has been sloppy at times. All the reasons in the world. They're a 500 baseball team, right? All the reasons in the world that this won't happen. But it is still a possibility. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. You can hang out with us over there as well. When we come back, I was told there was going to be an improved pass rush. Where was it yesterday? That's next. The lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Phoenix, celebrate culture, community, and football. Join Phoenix Rising on Saturday, September 20th at 7 p.m. for Hispanic Heritage Night as they face off against Loudoun United FC. The first fans through the gates will receive free Rising maracas while supplies last. And the night features live mariachi bands and a special menu honoring the flavors of the Valley. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours now at phxrisingfc.com. Color, culture, rising together.
Jaw-dropping stunts, high-flying tricks, heart-pounding excitement. Nitro Circus is back. The all-new off-the-rails tour. Gravity-defying thrill seekers and world-class daredevils at the top of their game. FMX, BMX, skate, scooter, and everything in between. Experience all new competitions that pit the best against the best in never-been-done showdowns. Nitro Circus. Friday, December 5th. Desert Diamond Arena. Join the action at Ticketmaster.com.
You want to see the ring? Here, I have a picture.
Wow, look at you.
I know, right? Went to Hellsberg and customized the whole thing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, I showed them all our inspiration photos, picked the setting, the diamond. It's actually pretty fun. Now for the real hard part, asking her.
Well, congrats, buddy. Ring looks awesome.
Start your story with Hellsberg. Designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
It's time to head back to school and forward to your future with Carrington College. For over 55 years, we've helped train the next generation of healthcare professionals. Apply now to get hands-on training from teachers with real-world experience. In as few as 9 months, you could start making a difference in healthcare. Classes start soon in Phoenix, Glendale, Mesa, and Tucson. Visit carrington.edu to see what's next for you. Visit carrington.edu/SCI for information on program outcomes.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. Last night's Sunday night game was a reminder. If you don't have an elite quarterback in today's NFL, you're already behind. Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen put on a show worthy of January, not September. Jackson was electric, carving up the Buffalo defense with Super Bowl aspirations and dropping 40 points in the process. It didn't matter if the pocket collapsed or if receivers struggled to separate. Lamar made something out of nothing. The kind of magic that keeps a team dangerous against anybody on the schedule. And that's what elite quarterbacks do. And then came Allen, nearly 400 yards through the air, capped off by 16 unanswered points, delivering a 1-point win for the Bills. It was vintage Josh Allen, fearless, improvisational, and relentless. The lesson is simple. Weapons matter, coaching matters, defense matters, but what matters most is the quarterback. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise.
As a scientist, I can tell you that Sundays are only 24 hours long. But with NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV, you get every game every Sunday all in one place. That's upwards of 30 hours of NFL in one day. How can there be 30 hours in 24 hours, you ask? I have a theory. Magic. New users get NFL Sunday Ticket for 8 payments of $34.50 per month. Sign up at NFLSundayTicket.com. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games and commercial use. Terms and embargoes apply. Availability varies.
New car prices going up? You're not imagining it. That shiny new ride just got even more expensive, making it tougher than ever to justify trading in. But here's the good news. Maaco can make your current car look and feel new again for a fraction of the cost. From fresh paint to light bodywork, we help you get more out of what you already own and love. Book your free estimate online or visit your nearest Maaco today. Free estimates, friendly service, fast turnaround. Better get Maaco.
James Out West, your desert destination for sports here in the Valley.
You've seen Shador. We've all seen him. He's, kind of everybody gravitates toward him.
He's got aura.
There we go. Thank you, as the young kids say. He's just there doing his job. He shows up early. He stays late. He's not posting it on social media to post it on social media to say, look at me. What you see is when he shows up to a neighborhood in which just got burned down, the apartment complex, and he sets up food trucks. I can't wait to see what happens for him, and I think that they have a good foundation for the future.
It's James Out West, every other Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
I was promised a new and improved pass rush this season for the Arizona Cardinals. And through week one of the regular season, it didn't seem all that new and improved. In total, just 1 sack for the group. That came from Baron Browning. I know Josh Sweat had a decent amount of pressures. I think he tied for 6th among defenders in total pressures. And again, pressures are important. Not every pressure is going to lead to a sack, but the more pressures that you get, the more opportunity there are for sacks. But this is just an eye test thing. Did you feel Well, you were watching that game on Sunday. That's a group that spent a first-round pick on Walter Nolan, that spent a first-round pick last year on Darius Robinson, that spent free agent dollars on Josh Sweat and Calais Campbell and Dalvin Tomlinson. Did it feel like a group that traded last year for Baron Browning to help improve their group? And I know Zaven Collins left the game with an injury, but this was supposed to be a group that had more depth, that was able to withstand injuries, withstand guys missing time, whether it's during a game or for large stretches of the season in multiple games. This group's supposed to be better than what I saw on Sunday. You only sacked Spencer Rattler one time. That type of pressure, that type of results isn't going to work when you play Stafford, when you play Purdy, when you play Darnold, when you play Stroud, Burrow, Lawrence. Name the quarterbacks. Look at the quarterbacks that this team is going to go up against this season. You've got to be better than that. There have to be more results. And we said we liked this matchup for this defense. We said this was a chance for this newly improved defense to show itself to all of us, to announce itself to the NFL world that this is a different year, a different defense, and there's going to be different results. I don't feel like I saw anything different yesterday. I don't feel like I saw a group that invested all of their resources and time and effort and energy into revamping that side of the ball. I didn't see a group on Sunday. I didn't see a group yesterday that showed that investment, that showed that investment of energy, of time, of money, of resources. I just didn't see it. And maybe it's just week one, and maybe it'll be okay because they only allowed 13 points and they don't really do that very often, and they'll get better as the year goes on. But I wanted this game to be a statement. I wanted it to be a statement on offense, and I wanted it to be a statement for this defense. If you can only get one sack on Spencer Rattler, am I supposed to assume that you'll get more this week against Bryce Young? Am I supposed to assume you'll get more against Sam Darnold, Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott, Jordan Love? Guess what? You know what I learned yesterday watching the Green Bay Packers? You're going to have to get pressure on Jordan Love to throw him off. You're going to have to figure out a way to throw him off platform, get him uncomfortable. The pass rush we saw yesterday is not going to get that done. And as Michael pointed out, and this is unfair to put on the defense, Kyler got sacked 5 times yesterday. And this offensive line for the Cardinals is supposed to be really good. Now, Kyler runs into some sacks. There was a play, just to show you how much of...
There's 2. I'm a huge nerd.
Just to show you how much of nerds we are. I mean, producer Evan and I spent 30 minutes, 45 minutes breaking down 2 plays of all 22 film when it came out this morning. I mean, we were deep in the weeds trying to figure out what went wrong, what was on Kyler, what was on other players. And there were 2 sacks in particular that we kind of zoned in on. But guess what? That's 2 sacks. The Cardinals only had 1 of Spencer Rattler. There were 5 in total against Kyler in this game. And again, when you have a quarterback that runs around as much as Kyler does, you're going to run into some more sacks. And so that's a little unfair to put on the offensive line. But come on. I was told that this was going to be a new and improved pass rush, and I didn't feel it. Don't come at me.
I'm a huge nerd.
With stats about how many pressures the team has. And I get that those are important. I didn't feel it. I didn't feel the pressure. I didn't feel the defense imposing its will on Spencer Rattler and this Saints offense. Didn't feel it.
Not at all. Not at all. I thought it was a disappointing week for the pass rush. And like you said, the pressures are important, but at some point, and maybe this is the East Coast football fan in me, at some point pressures don't matter. If you don't get a sack, who cares?
You can get away with that in week 1 and talk to me about pressures and talk to me about, it's good. It's getting there. Okay. I got to see actual results at some point. I got to see the quarterback being taken down.
And did Rattler ever feel uncomfortable in his pocket?
Boy, it didn't seem like it.
It never felt like it. And so is a pressure stat because the coverage held up in the back end, and eventually the Cardinals got there and got a pressure. Right? Like, that's just what it is sometimes. And so, yeah, the pressure stats don't always translate to how the pass rush actually played. And for anybody who watched that game, I think would come out with the same takeaway. They felt non-existent.
Again, I can point to some advanced numbers that tell a different story, that tell at least a better story for this team defensively. And that's all well and good. And I like those types of numbers, right? Those are important. But I wanted to see a team have a multi-sack performance. I wanted to see Josh Sweat impact the game. I wanted to see Calais Campbell and Dalvin Tomlinson and Darius Robinson impact the game and have those plays that make you go, yes, new defense.
That's it.
This is the group. And I never really felt that in this game. Now, where I did feel it is with the guy that they stole in the second round of the NFL draft.
And I want to get into, they have it. They found him.
I mean, Will Johnson.
If he's healthy, they found him.
Was special yesterday.
I mean, to get a corner that physical. And by the way, I mean, we talked about it the other day before the game. It's not like the Saints don't have any weapons. Chris Olave is a good NFL receiver.
After that play, they didn't have Chris Olave. Will Johnson blew him up.
I mean, Will Johnson looked as good as a corner as I've seen in his first game.
You want the numbers? Was targeted 7 times, allowed just 4 catches for 32 yards, defended 3 passes, had an interception that got called back for a play. Had nothing to do with him.
Nothing. It was a illegal contact from Max Melton on the other side of the field.
It wasn't him. He made a great play and then also had the absolute crushing hit on Chris Olave that sent him out of the game.
Also, I want to say this. Matt in our YouTube chat said that he didn't like the Saints jerseys a little bit.
I like the Saints jerseys.
I loved them.
They were very good.
And you know what I liked more? Was the end zones.
Those were nice.
Those were nice. They looked like an old 80s carpet. Thought that was fun.
Will Johnson was absolutely spectacular yesterday for this team. And the question mark was, could he be healthy? If he's healthy, I don't have a doubt you could just go man-to-man and put him on any team's best receiver, and he's just going to thrive.
To have a corner that in his first game was as physical as he was is such a good sign.
Wasn't afraid of the moment, right?
Ever. I mean, just so physical at the point of contact. Obviously on the Chris Olave one, but just in coverage, where like he never got pushed off the ball. In the NFL, that happens. That just is what it is. He never felt a step too slow.
No, the interception was a great play. The hit on Olave was a gread play. I mean, he just played great. That's your shutdown corner. I mean, that's the guy that you can match up with any receiver. Guess what? You know who's going to be covering Teteroa McMillan next week? Will Johnson. Going to follow that guy around. T-Mac, Will Johnson, rookie-on-rookie battle this week.
If there was any concern about the defense this week, I thought the run defense, too, was an issue.
I don't like that we have the questions that we do coming out of this game on both sides of the ball, and I'm sure we'll continue to unpack this as the week moves on, probably the next couple of days, and then back half of the week we'll start looking at what the problems potentially that the Panthers present. But I just wish I didn't have as many questions today as I do. I wish more things were certain. I wish Kyler Murray's performance was more certain. I wish Marvin Harrison Jr.'s performance was more certain. I wish this pass rush's performance was more certain. Will Johnson's performance, certain. So I'm certain that they have a stud at that position. He was fantastic yesterday. There's
no questions about it.
Too many other uncertainties for me. You know what? You win the football game. Good to have uncertainties when you win a football game. Not good to have uncertainties when you lose a football game. You kind of have to just wipe the slate clean, and hopefully you can fix these issues as the week progresses. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, will Saturday's loss to Mississippi State be a humbling experience or the start of a long season? That's next. The lunch break. KDUS, AM 1060.
On your ride home from work, join in on the Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Beerstein.
If we owned our own football team called the Angry Roosters and we kept signing people to contracts and they weren't honoring their contracts and kept demanding raises, at what point do we throw our hands up and just say no to everybody? We signed you to a contract. play out your contract, and that's it. You earn a better contract on your next one, we'll pay you for that.
Live weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
We watch these lawyers get on TV and say they're going to treat their clients like family, when we know they put secret mandatory quotas on their lawyers. That means your own lawyer pressures you into a premature, terrible result. Hi, I'm Mark Breyer.
And I'm Alexis Breyer. We're the husband and wife law team. We don't set settlement quotas. We measure success by achieving each client's best outcome and by each client's happiness.
Do your research after a serious injury. Call the husband and wife law team first.
Judas Priest. And Alice Cooper. The Metal Gods, Judas Priest. The Godfather of shock rock, Alice Cooper. October 22nd, Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater with special guest, Corrosion of Conformity. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Presented by 100.7 KSLX, part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help that often requires only simple maintenance. However, if left untreated, could lead to costly repairs. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello from A1 Garage Door Service. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. If your garage door is noisy, if bugs are getting in, or if it struggles to open, your garage door is in need of repair. From simple repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one. We fix garage doors fast and with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Our springs, rollers, and openers are tested by running them up and down, open and closed all day, 24/7, so you can feel confident with every A1 garage door repair. Replacing the bottom rubber on your garage door can have a huge impact on the number of bugs you see in your garage and in your home. Keep those creepy crawlers outside by calling A1 Garage Door Service today and receive the best service, best parts, and best warranty in the industry.
A1Garage.com, A1 from day one.
Call today and take advantage of our $29.95 tune-up special.
At Nationwide Vision, we help you step into every moment clearly and confidently. From quality eyewear and comfortable contact lenses to comprehensive exams and professional fittings, we make finding your focus a more enjoyable experience than ever. Right now, buy one pair of glasses and get the second one free, so you can live bolder, look sharper, and see better. Schedule an appointment today to find your focus.
Stay at the heart of it all with a special Cliff Castle room rate starting at just $99 with no resort fees. Less fees mean more ways to choose your next adventure at the gateway to the region's best gaming, entertainment, and natural wonders. And expect service from the heart as well. We think you'll love your stay with us and all the value we provide, starting at just $99 with no added fees. Cliff Castle Casino Hotel, at the heart of it all. Valid Sunday through Thursday. Some restrictions apply. An enterprise of the Yavapai Apache Nation.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alicio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alicio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
It was a rough weekend for Arizona State, going to Mississippi State, losing, giving up the big touchdown late, falling 24-20. Dug themselves an early 17-point hole, and it was just an embarrassing performance across the board, especially with the way they played offensively in that first half. And there's really two choices, two pathways that this can go. This game over the weekend is either the humbling loss early in the year that gets this team back on track. It is the wake-up call. They're still 0-0 in the Big 12. They can still run the table, win the Big 12, and be the Big 12 representative in the college football playoff. All of that still in front of them. All of that still a mathematical possibility. So this game could provide the wake-up call, could be the humbling experience for a quarterback who heard a lot about how he was a Heisman finalist, heard a lot about how he was a first-round QB. Listen, we fell into that trap here on this show. It's the wake-up call to say, you got to go out there and do it. Can't just waltz into Mississippi State thinking that you're the better football team. You got to practice like you're the better football team. You got to work like you're the better football team. You got to play like you're the better football team. That is one path that this could take. The other path that this could take is that this is the symptom. This game on Saturday is the symptom of a larger problem. And this is just the beginning of what is going to be a season that will miss all of our expectations. I think on this show, of the two of us, have leaned more towards let's not talk about winning the Big 12 championship again. Let's just talk about at the end of the season being in the mix. Let's just talk about the last week of the year having a pathway to being in the Big 12 championship, right? That's kind of been where I've settled on this. The way they played on Saturday, I don't think that's even on the table. And so if you miss those expectations, guess what? You can take last year and throw it out the window. You can take all the goodwill that you earned from doing what you did last year, beating Iowa State the way that you did in the Big 12 championship game, representing yourself well. You were talked about when the bracket came out of how easy of a matchup it was going to be to face you, that you didn't deserve that bye in the first round, that you didn't deserve to be in the spot that you were in, and you showed that you belonged. And that gave you a summer of respect from everybody in the college football world. Gave you respect from everybody in the sports world, that you held your own against Texas, that you were one defensive play away, one defensive stop away from beating Texas in that college football playoff game. You generated a lot of goodwill from those things. You've now undone it with what you did on Saturday. You have to earn that goodwill back. And so whether or not this is a humbling loss or the start of something, or the start of something very bad across the board, we are going to look back at this game as the pivotal moment, the fork in the road. This season is either going to go in one of two directions. They're going to use this as a rallying cry. Kenny Dillingham is going to prove how good of a coach he is. Sam Leavitt is going to raise his game to another level. He was very bad on Saturday. Abysmal. It was a bad performance from somebody who's apparently supposed to be a first-round pick in next year's draft. Just needs to be better. So he's either going to be better, the defense is going to be better, the offense overall is going to be better, and we're going to laugh at the end of the season that we made a big deal out of this. Or week in and week out, we're going to see some of the same problems. Inconsistency on offense. Not able to have the right passing game. Not having somebody other than Jordan Tyson emerge as a receiving threat. A defense that continues to give up big plays in big spots over and over and over again. And we're going to continue to talk about a team that when they get to the Big 12 portion of their schedule, loses games to Utah, loses games to Texas Tech, loses the games on their calendar that maybe 6 days ago you thought that they would be able to win. Those are the two choices. Those are the two pathways for this program. And unfortunately, right now, as I sit 48, maybe a little less than 48 hours removed from the game on Saturday, I'm very afraid that they are down the path of this is the start of something very bad. Because I don't know what to put stock into. Do I put stock into the running game and how good they were over the weekend? And how that might be able to get them back to a balanced approach and maybe able to take some of the stuff off of the plate of Sam Leavitt? This was supposed to be the year that Sam Leavitt made a jump. This was supposed to be the year that Sam Leavitt became a Heisman candidate, became one of the best quarterbacks in all of college football. And Producer Evan, I look at their schedule right now. Right now, number 20 ranked Utah. Home against number 21 ranked Texas Tech. At number 14 ranked Iowa State. Do you feel good about this team with the way they've played over the first 2 weeks in any of those games? Do you feel good about them next week against Texas State? Do you feel good about them this Saturday against Texas State?
There are major, major concerns. I mean, I can't really sugarcoat it. You need to go out and you need to beat Texas State by 4 scores. I mean, it needs to be a 4-score game if you want anybody in this town or in this, entire college football realm to believe in you. Saturday night is just one of the most saddening and embarrassing performances I've seen for a team I really, really root for. I mean, it was...
Let's be honest. You're close to this. You work in the broadcast booth. You're there all of the home games. You're going to be there for this game on Texas against Texas State this Saturday, right? You're close to it. You live and breathe it every day. You went to the university. You have a degree there. You help out on the broadcast, on the radio side of things. You enjoy being a part of something. You enjoy being a part of this. And last year was so much fun that you thought, man, it's going to be so much fun this year. And now you're dreading it a little bit. You're dreading it because I don't know what this team is. And guess what? You had a great year last year. One performance like Mississippi State can undo it all. You didn't generate that much goodwill. You don't have the history to fall back on the way other programs do. Alabama can lose a game the first week of the season. And in general, people can think the big picture is okay, although it's a little murky down there right now. But if Alabama under Nick Saban lost a game early in the year, you felt like they'll
be fine.
They're going to recover. You haven't earned that yet as a program. You haven't earned the right for me to come in here and say, oh, it's fine. It's okay. Kenny's got this. They've had one good season. It was a great season. It was a season that got us very excited about what the future could be. But now you've undone it. You're back to square one. And right now, if I had to pick between the two paths, I am more concerned than I am about this being a humbling experience for this squad. I hope it is. I hope we look back at the end of the season and we laugh at this conversation. I'm just not sure yet. Go out there and dominate against Texas State over the weekend. Go out there and take care of business. Cover the 15.5. Good teams win, great teams cover, right? Go out there, dominate, win by 4 scores. Win by 20 points. Do what you were supposed to do against NAU and didn't. And at least set yourself up to be 2-1 going into that Baylor game.
I just couldn't believe the way they handled the environment.
Well,
they just
and this is why I circled this game on the calendar, right? This is why I picked this one on the schedule. I didn't pick a Big 12 game as the most important game. I picked this one because it was an early chance to tell the world last year was not a fluke. Everybody feels like last year was a fluke now. Everybody feels it. Everybody's thinking it because you went in there and you embarrassed yourself. You went in there and you didn't play well. To the point, you dropped 14 spots in the rankings. You're out of the AP top 25. That's how poorly you played. That's how uninspiring that first half of football was.
It's really bad.
480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, it's the leftovers, all the stories we didn't get to throughout the course of the program. We'll get to them next. It's the lunch break. KDUS, AM 1060.
It's the Dan Patrick Show.
Ben DiNucci, NFL quarterback. I'm still going to introduce you as NFL quarterback. Being on the practice squad, what's the difference in how you're treated, lifestyle?
Honestly, nothing's different. I mean, there's 53 guys on the active roster and there's 16 on the practice squad. And the reality of the NFL is that guys are going to get hurt. There's a reason that these teams put a lot of effort into the practice squad, just like they do the active roster. It's really all the same. You're still traveling with the team. The pay cut's a little bit less, but at the end of the day, it's still great.
Live Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060 and the KTUS 1060 app.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Nitro Circus is back with the all-new Off the Rails Tour. World-class daredevils and FMX, BMX, skate, scooter, and more. Jaw-dropping stunts, high-flying tricks, and never-been-done showdowns. Friday, December 5th, Desert Diamond Arena. Visit Ticketmaster.com.
The garage door springs that come standard with most homes don't last. And when they fail, it's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello at A1 Garage Door Service. Our springs are the toughest in the industry, backed by our lifetime warranty. That's right. Fix them once and you're covered for life. Don't risk your family's safety or your peace of mind. Let A1 replace your springs before they become a problem. From repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one.
A1 from day one.
Come visit the all-new Wecopa Casino Resort, formerly Fort McDowell Casino. Whether you're visiting for slots, table games, the Valley's favorite bingo hall, golf, or food, our new smoke-free casino resort is the place to be. Enjoy a fine dining experience like no other at Ember, or go for the lively crowd at WKP Sportsbook and Bar. Wecopa offers 2 top 10 golf courses in the state, and the resort with heated pools and cabanas is the perfect place to relax. Come experience Wecopa Casino Resort today. At Wecopa, we have the best of it all.
This fall, choose Primavera Online, and you'll be choosing a school with flexibility, personalized support, and an award-winning curriculum that's over 20 years strong. Now enrolling grades K to 12 at chooseprimavera.com.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Wrapping up Monday edition of the program. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're on KDUS AM 1060. You missed anything? Check out the Lunch Break podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to both hours of the show. So if you missed any of our instant reaction to the Cardinals and Sun Devils, we did that in hour number 1. You missed the NFL Rewind. You have all of that in the podcast feed. So just check it out wherever you get your podcast. It's the leftovers. It's all the stories we didn't get to throughout the course of the program. I'm sure there's a lot for us to unpack here today. What is on the docket, producer Evan?
I just feel like we haven't talked about it enough. Game of the week, could be game of the year last night. Sunday Night Football. Ravens at Bills.
I mean, it's certainly right now the game of the year, right? I mean, it's certainly the game of the season right now. Nothing has topped it yet, but there's still, 17 more weeks to go. But yeah, just incredible. The win probability for the Bills at one point was down to, I think, 1.1%. The Ravens, I just want to read to you from the box score. Lamar, 209 yards in the air, 2 touchdowns. Rushed for 70 yards and a touchdown on the ground. Derrick Henry, 169 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. They scored 40 points. They had a 34-19 lead going into the fourth quarter. They lost the football game. Josh Allen threw for like 290-something yards in the second half of the game.
It was insane.
I mean, these are 2 teams that I think people think can dethrone the Chiefs as the defending AFC champions. And I said it on Friday, potential future AFC championship game preview. I'll take another one of those in the AFC championship game. But how do you not feel gutted for Baltimore today? You really make one mistake.
I mean, that was it, right? It's the one fumble.
It's the Henry fumble.
Who, by the way, averaged 9.5 yards a carry.
It's the fielding of the punt and going into the end zone.
Yeah.
That also maybe changes things if they have to start their offense from the 1-yard line instead of getting it out on the touchback. That certainly was a difference maker. Now, if there's a team that can recover from these types of losses, it's certainly Baltimore because, unfortunately, they have quite a few of them under Lamar Jackson and with John Harbaugh as the coach. They've been through this before. You felt like this was going to be them shaking that narrative with how dominating they were for most of the game. And it's week 1, so a lot of time to recover from this. But boy, does it sting to start the year 0-1 when you score 40 points in Buffalo. You dominate the way that you did, and yet you still lose the football game.
And obviously it comes down to, and everybody's going to talk about the fumble. Derrick Henry is the best running back of my generation.
He's incredible.
I mean, he is incredible. Every time he touches the ball, he could go. And last night, I mean, both of these defenses were bad. Buffalo could not stop the run.
No, and that's a worrying sign because, I mean, let me look at the Bills' schedule here coming up, and let's look at it through the lens of running the football. The Jets ran the football really well yesterday. They play the Dolphins after that. I don't know how great the Dolphins are running the football. The Saints after that, the Patriots. So they get a stretch where they may be okay. But the Falcons, you think they're going to run all over them? They're certainly going to try. The Chiefs will certainly try. The Texans, the Bucks will certainly try.
And the Eagles later in the season.
The Eagles certainly will try. The Browns will try. Bengals won't try. Steelers will try. So they're going to have to fix this pretty quickly because they cannot allow. And I know it's Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, and so those are unicorns of unicorns at that position. But, I mean, I think teams should want to try to run the ball against this Bills team. You got to prove to me that you can stop it.
I mean, and nothing they did in week one has proven that.
They gave up 238 yards on the ground, an average of 8.2 yards per carry.
In baseball news, Alec Boehm and Trey Turner
Look at you being selfish here.
are both headed to the IL here.
Selfishly talking about your own baseball team here.
There's a hope that Trey Turner might return for the playoffs, according to John Heyman.
Tough blow this stage of the season to lose anybody, right? I mean, you lose two players that are key parts of your offense.
Certainly.
And you lose two bats in that lineup. Puts a lot of pressure on Schwarber, puts a lot of pressure on Harper, puts a lot of pressure on the rest of that team to pick up the slack going into the postseason. Because, as you said, there's hope that Turner can return in the postseason. There's no guarantee that he returns in the postseason. And so, depending on who you draw in the first round, that could be a huge blow. Turner provides speed, provides great defense. His bat's been good this year, so he's been an all-around great player. And to not have him at the top of the lineup, they're putting Bryce Harper in the leadoff spot tonight because of it. Just goes to show you the impact that Trey Turner had on this team.
It gets interesting if the Phillies are that banged up, right? You've already lost Wheeler. Now, if you lose your third baseman and your shortstop,
you're starting to have too many holes for me to consider you a World Series team.
A World Series team, and this is going to be a team who, more or less, as of now, has the bye.
They're going to need that bye to get healthy.
They're going to need that bye to get healthy. So that'll be an interesting conversation. If you're the Phillies now, the bye becomes more important.
Right, but it's harder to get the bye now because of the injuries that you suffered, right? It's kind of a catch-22. You need the bye, but I don't know if you're going to be able to play well enough to get the bye.
That's the age-old question.
So we'll see. They start a 4-game series with the Mets tonight in Philly. Can we talk Monday Night Football real quick?
I was just about to say that. So my next thing for you is Bears-Vikings tonight on Monday Night Football.
J.J. McCarthy, NFL debut. Ben Johnson, first game as head coach. First game for Caleb Williams as the quarterback, with Ben Johnson being his head coach and offensive mastermind. So potentially the first example, the first piece of evidence on whether or not the coaching change will work for Caleb Williams. Our first chance to see, did the Vikings make the right decision letting Sam Darnold walk, handing things off to J.J. McCarthy, coming off of that injury, spending the first-round pick on him. All of that, we start to get those answers here tonight. And with the Lions losing yesterday to the Packers, whoever wins this game can move in front and be in a tie for first place.
I think this is going to be a fun one. I really do. I think both of these teams are going to be solid and have the opportunity to be really good. The Vikings, depending on how J.J. McCarthy is, could be one of the better teams in the NFC or fine.
I want to see J.J. McCarthy play before I'm willing to say that the Vikings are going to be good this year. We've gone chapter and verse of how much we love Kevin O'Connell here on the show, that we just think he's an excellent head coach and he'll make it work. You got to have a quarterback that can operate your system. And I anticipate that he's going to do a great job of scheming things and making it easy on JJ, but JJ still has to execute and run the offense. And so until I see it in an NFL game, I'm just a little on the fence on wanting to call them good. Just let me see it. Tonight, you win this football game, JJ looks adequate. He's a game manager. He does all what you need to do. Then I can say, you know what? Give Kevin O'Connell the whole season to work with JJ. Let JJ develop as this season begins. Yeah, they're going to be a good team by the time things get done. I just want to see it. I just want to see one game before I'm willing to say, you know what? That Vikings team, they're going to be right back in the playoffs. And I don't think I picked them to make the playoffs.
That's fair. You certainly did not. And that's the thing with the Bears, too. The Bears could be great or they could be fine, right? Because I don't know what Caleb is. Still a little.
And there are still legitimate questions in my mind on, is he going to be too much of a superhero? Is he going to try to do too much? And if he tries to do too much, I think that's a recipe for disaster for him.
Especially in a Ben Johnson offense,
where there's going to be the freedom to be creative.
They are going to run the ball, though. If anything, They are going to line up under center, and they are going to run the football tonight.
I would agree with that assessment that they are going to attempt to run the football quite a bit. But I think this is a really big first test for Ben Johnson and the Bears because you're standing alone tonight. Everybody's watching you. This offense struggles. If Caleb struggles, a lot of questions tomorrow.
Give me a pick. Who you like?
I like the Vikings in this one. I do. I like the coaching matchup. I'm going to lean on who I think the better coach is, and I'm going to lean on Kevin O'Connell. It's going to do it for us here, Monday edition of the program. Jim Rome coming up next. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Everybody, have a great rest of your Monday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See you.
Thank you.